Depending on the programming language you're using, there are different ways to implement a dark theme and a light theme on your website. There's this specific pattern I notice beginners use often. At the end of the day, it will work, but they will end up having a messy code. So whether you're a vibe coder that uses AI or you're still learning some basics on how to code, let me show you the cleanest way to insert a light theme and a dark theme on your website, which will make it very easy to control even in large projects. I see developers ignoring this pattern not because it is hard, but because nobody actually explains it clearly. So let's look at this as an example I'll see. This website doesn't have a light theme and a dark theme for now. So the thing is, the browser is not connected to your local website. So it doesn't know if your browser is a light theme or is a dark theme. So the first thing you need to do, you need to tell the browser that I need my website to accept dark theme and also a light theme. Let me show you something. For example, if you go to your browser setting and you scroll to settings, just below here, you will have something like this: automatic, light theme, and a dark theme. If I change my browser to a light theme and I go back to my local website, you can see nothing has changed here. I also inserted a simple login form just to show you an example of how it works. In a light theme, this is what we're having. It hasn't affected our browser because now the browser doesn't know if our website is a light theme or a dark theme. If I change now this to dark theme, now the browser is in dark theme, our website hasn't reflected. And normally for these input boxes, for a dark theme, it's not supposed to be white. It's supposed to be a little bit dark, maybe like a gray color, just like the background. So what you're going to do now, you need to connect the both of them to communicate. There's a CSS property we used. So this is all the code for this front page website. But the code isn't the most important now. It's how to now make this a light theme and a dark theme work. That's the process now. So in the HTML tag, there's a CSS property we use that makes your browser now to accept dark theme and a light theme. So it's called color scheme. This is how it works. You can see it. What this line of code is saying is my browser accepts a light theme and also a dark theme. If I remove this dark theme, now it's saying my browser accepts light theme, no dark theme. Let's make it light and dark. This is how you always start it. Point out the process I'm going to take. Make sure now your HTML tag is having a color scheme of dark theme and light theme. When you go back to your browser, you notice something now. This login form has just changed to a dark color immediately after inserting the property. You can see from our browser, I'm in a dark theme. If I change it to a light theme, now this page hasn't changed because this is the styling I gave it. This is a default styling that I inserted using CSS. So it's not going to change. But for these login forms, which are derived from the browser, you can see now they are in a white theme because I have changed it to a light theme. You can see how it goes. Dark theme, now it has gone back to dark. Light theme, it has gone back to a light theme. So now this is how now the browser and your local website communicates. Now, this is the first stage. Now, the second stage now is we want a way that we're going to have two buttons that you can click on a light theme. This entire design will change to light theme, just like what you saw on the first clip of this video. So now to do that, now first we need to create two buttons. In the HTML body, as you can see here, I have commented a theme selection buttons. If I uncomment it, you can see I have two buttons. And this button is having a class name of theme BTN. The second button, theme BTN. But the difference we're having between these two buttons is data theme. This first button is for the light button. This second button is for the dark button. And it's having a data theme of dark, data theme of light. From our browser, I've already styled it. You can see how it's looking here. The dark theme and a light theme. Now we're going to use these two buttons to navigate between the two themes. This is the second stage. Now, for the third stage, what you need to do now is you need to make sure now the design you're using on your website, you're using CSS variable. It should not be you're using white color for the background, green color for the buttons. No, you're using variable like BG color. So anywhere you're going to use the BG color, you're going to use this. This is how CSS variable works. Because if you don't use this pattern, it's going to work, but I don't see the essence of even following this pattern because it's going to make your life a living hell. You can't even control your website because it's not even going to make sense. So you have to use CSS variable. Now, the fourth stage is now you're going to do something. You're going to insert two more variables, which you're going to see now. In the light theme, this is the color I want. In the dark theme, this is the color I want. But by default, this is the colors. You understand? What we're going to do now, we're going to insert the colors we're going to use for a dark theme and the color we're going to use for a light theme. I've already copied the code, so I'm just going to paste it for you to see how it works. So now, if I paste this code here, you can see it's almost similar to the first variable. So now what we're saying is root data theme light. Do you notice where we got this line of code from? This code is derived from the light btn, which is this line of code. So literally we just copied this and we inserted it here. So what it's saying now is for the light theme, this is the code we're going to use. You understand? We're going to make the background color white, the text color black, the subtext color, the border color. So we're going to do the same thing for the dark theme. We're also going to paste the colors we're going to use for a dark theme now. So we're going to paste it here. You can see here root data theme dark. And this data theme, we got it from here, which is the dark btn. So you have to insert a data theme on the button. You can see here from the background, we're using a dark color. For the text color, we're using a light color. For now, this is not yet active. We're going to use those few lines of code to navigate them so that when you click on dark theme, this will take action. When you click on light theme, this will take action. That's all you're going to need. Now, this is the fourth stage. But there's something I need you to notice. Do you notice about this color scheme? Lights. And I also inserted color scheme dark here. If you notice, it's the same thing that is here. Why did I insert it here and also inserted it here? So now let me show you the differences. So the moment we switch it to dark mode, this line of code will tell the browser that we are now in dark mode. The moment we switch it to light mode, this line of code will inform the browser that we have now switched to light mode. So now we're going to use a few lines of JavaScript to be switching it between light mode and dark mode. So when we're done, we're going to be having something like this after inserting the JavaScript. So the first thing now, we need to target now these two buttons we're going to use, which is the theme btn. In the JavaScript, we're going to first target the button. We're going to give them a variable name of theme buttons. Then we're going to target now the HTML tag. Now from the CSS, this is what we're targeting here, the HTML tag. So to target the HTML tag, this is how we do it now. We say we're giving it a variable name of HTML element. And instead of using query selector, since we're targeting a tag, which is the HTML tag, we're going to say document.document element. This is how we do it. Now, these are the two things we're going to use, the buttons and the HTML tag. So then we're going to now activate the switching in on and off between the themes. Now, you're going to think as the way a system should function. So the first thing now you're going to think of, has the user stored a theme before, or has the user switched it to a dark theme before, or has it switched it to a light theme before? So now, first of all, you're going to check it. And obviously, if the user have switched it before, it means now he have stored it in the local storage. I believe you know about local storage and central storage, which we store some minor data in the browser storage system. So now, you're going to check if the user has stored a dark theme or a light theme before. To check now, we're using local.getItem. Now, this theme, we're going to define it later, but now just get the idea what is happening here. Now, if he has stored it, now we're going to retrieve it. This theme might be a dark theme or a light theme. Now, if it's a dark theme, now it's storing inside this variable, this safe theme. If it's a light theme, it's also going to be stored inside this variable, which is safe theme. So now, the entire idea here is we're either going to get an output of light theme or a dark theme, or none. If it's none, it means the user hasn't already stored a dark theme or a light theme before. But if he has, we're going to collect it. We're going to create a function later. The function is going to be called apply theme. The essence of this function is going to be applying the theme to the website. Now, what is happening here? We're having two buttons, right? The dark theme and the light theme. So now we're going to loop through them. So we're going to check both of the buttons. That's why we use for each button. So we're going to say now for each button, this is what the line of code is saying. For each button we click on, we want some action to take. The first thing is we're going to collect their attributes, their data theme attributes. Do you remember the data theme attribute for each button? This is what we are having here. Data theme light, data theme dark. For each button we click on, if we click on this button, we're going to collect this light text. When we click on this button, we're going to collect this dark text. So when we click on that button, now this selected variable is either going to hold a light text or a dark text. Now, when we collect that text, we're going to apply it to that same function I mentioned we're going to create in a minute. After applying a theme, then we're going to save it in the local storage so that the next time we come in, we can easily retrieve it. Just like what we did here. In this first of code, we retrieved what we saved earlier. Local storage.set item. Now, this is the main key. We're going to create the function that will be flipping it. Now, we have created a function, which is the applied theme. And we gave it a parameter name of theme. This theme is the same thing as this selected theme and also saved theme. We're now checking if theme is equals to light. So now, if what you click on has a text of light, now it's going to change the HTML tag to activate this. So this is what is happening here. Else, if what you clicked on is having a text of dark, then it's going to set the attribute name of the HTML tag to be data theme dark. So this is everything we're going to do. Now, our dark theme and light theme has been activated. You can see it here. Now, no matter how big the project is, with this just few lines of code, you're done. You don't need any more stress. Let me explain it again. So as you can see, we collected the two buttons we're going to use, which is query selector all. So it derived the two buttons we're going to use. We targeted the HTML tag. First thing we did, we checked, have the user saved a theme before? If yes, collect it. If you collect it, now apply it to this apply theme. What you collect, is it a dark theme or a light theme? If it's a light theme, apply it to this function. Which function? This is the function. The function that check if it's a light theme, change it to light. If it's a dark theme, change it to dark. So literally, this function is saying light. Then now the function activated it to light theme. For each of the button you click on, collect its data attribute, which is light text or a dark text. If it's a light text, apply this function. Store it in the local storage so that the next time you come, you don't have to select it again. It has already been stored. If theme is equals to light, change it to dark light theme. If theme is equals to dark, change it to dark theme. From the browser, because of the local storage idea we used, now let's assume here I closed the browser. Yeah, I've closed it and I open it again. Now, because I've already stored it in the local storage, and with the help of this first line of code that we're retrieving what we last saved, now it's going to have a light theme. You can see. It's because I changed it to light theme before closing the browser. So this line of code is what is helping us to retrieve what we last saved. So this is everything you need to know about it. If you need the source code, comment code in the comment section and I'll send it to you. If you're someone that is interested into web development, the foundation of web development is HTML, CSS, JavaScript. And we have already compiled a full course on HTML and CSS. If you're someone that is interested to get started as a beginner to pro, you can DM me. The link is in the comment section or check